Hey, good afternoon. It's Trisha of Triumph with Trisha. I'm also recording here for my podcast, Sherman Says. The question that I have today is, how does being an entrepreneur affect your relationships with your family and friends? I think that's a really good question. For me, because it's been a long journey, right? But now I actually have my business and I have workspace, um, a dedicated workspace that even if there was the kids had to go back to virtual school, I have a designated area where I can work. I can speak with clients, Zoom calls or you record content and stuff. I have my own area. But, excuse me, I think it can be really challenging. I've experienced challenges before when I just didn't have my own space to work. Like, we're sharing a living space and it just was kind of awkward. But my kids have understood what I'm doing and that I work from home and I have clients and they can't be down here when I'm in a session with a client, right? So they're really good. They're also bigger now, but they're really good with just abiding by that. They have their own, phones and internet and TV upstairs, so they don't come down for that. I decided what my hours were going to be. So for myself, working hours, my preference is when my kids leave for school and everybody's out the door, then, I get myself situated. By then I should have already done my exercise routine, gotten some breakfast. Wow. Gotten some breakfast. Sorry about that. And, what was I saying? Just started my morning and then I head on downstairs and I have my content or my DMO, my daily method of operations, ready. So today I already know what I'm doing tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So organization is really key. That's really, really important. I've designated my work hours. Do not come here between this time to this time. You'll see me at a certain time for break. Lunch, we can chitter chat then when I leave here and I'm going back upstairs to re-engage with the family for dinner and whatnot. And if I have a meeting or a webinar or something that I'm doing or going to participate in later on in the evening, I may come back downstairs. But designating the time and space, if you have a dedicated work area, is a key thing. So my kids, even when my children were smaller, they were pretty good at understanding quiet time and they listened pretty well. It wasn't always perfect, but I also didn't have a business then. I was back in school, so I was a college student. Sometimes I just needed the time to study. What I found that also worked for me at that time was I would spend time with them after they get home from school, snacks, homework, dinner, bathe them, get them ready for bed and send them off to bed. And then my phone doesn't ring. I'm so sorry. And then I would dedicate between like 8 and 10 or 8 to 11 where I just get to do my homework, read and whatnot. I did not always stay awake. Sometimes I was reading and dozing off. These things really happen. It's not all that neat and pretty with a bow on it. It's not easy, right? But my relationships with friends and family at this current time, it's not as difficult as it might have been before because I've been at home so much. I haven't been hanging out with a lot of folks since the lockdown and all that started with the pandemic. I've been at home and I want to be at home. So my visiting and stuff are on the weekends, not really throughout the week. And I just have made it clear it's not a thing that I'm trying. I just go and try a thing. That's not what I'm doing. I work. These are my business hours. I work throughout the day. So if you wanted to call and talk to me and catch up, if you call me, I'm not going to answer during this time. I'll check the message. I'll call you back later on or when I take my lunch break. You got to teach people how to treat you, right? And respect the boundaries. So if somebody was in the area and they wanted to pop by, you know what? This is my work time. Just because I'm in the house does not mean that I'm available. And most everybody has been very respectful of that. With that being said, it's a process. Everybody does not respect what it is you're doing or trying, or trying to do. They don't always get it, and that's totally okay. That is fine. But I really stuck to that, and so that hasn't been a big challenge in my relationships, or yeah, that part hasn't been a struggle. I get that if you are in a dynamic where you don't really have a space that is just for you that you can carve out in work, or you have a spouse or partner that's like, whatever, they're walking by belching and stuff while you're trying to talk to a client, or you know what I mean, or do like create content or something. It's important to just have the conversation, keep at it, keep doing what you're doing. My phone basically has not rung all day, and you've heard it, I'm sure, a few times in the few minutes that I'm talking to you. I'm like, you know what, sorry, but I'm just going to keep it moving, because usually we don't have perfect, ideal circumstances. I turn everything off, and when I leave my office, like I let my family know, this is my office, this is not your play area, don't come in here, there's nothing that you need that is here. So don't come to this area. That's mom's office. They have school supplies and things upstairs. There's a desk. There's a desktop computer there. Like, yeah. And I mean, it's exciting. They help put the desk. I have them participate. I have a whiteboard over here. This desk. They help me put the things together, and like there is involvement. But as far as that goes, when I'm social, I had my birthday. I didn't really have a party, but I had literally 4 people here. At that time, we could have some visitors. I'm in Toronto. I'm in Canada, and everybody was safe, and all of that, and people had been tested, so nobody was whatever, and so it was nice. Because I really hadn't done the social. I definitely didn't have people over, and I wasn't going out like that. I'm still not really, but I hadn't created my office. My birthday's in June, so this space was open, and we hung out. We did pictures. I had a balloon backdrop. It was really nice, and lots of jokes. And it was just nice to be around my people, around some of my people again. And otherwise, I don't really go through a difficult time with my friends and family as far as being an entrepreneur. I don't pay that much attention to the folks that want to give me a side eye and be like, what are you doing? Coach, is that life, coach? What that mean? I just say what it is I'm doing and how I help people. Oh, all right. Sometimes you hear that. Sorry, I'm not mocking Jamaicans. I am born in Canada and raised here of Jamaican parents and grandmothers, and so at times you will hear references that are very much sounding like a Jamaican grandma. I hear them. I hear all of them up here still, right? They instilled many good things, values and what have you, and lots of jokes. So from time to time you will hear those references. There's no disrespect at all intended. I love them all dearly, and I miss them so incredibly much, because everybody has gone on to glory now, right? So that's very much my nature to do that. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember where I left off. But at the end of the day, create the type of environment that you want to be in. Establish some ground rules. And you have to teach people how to treat you. So establish the ground rules and have your hours of operation when you're working. When people call you during your work time, let it go to voicemail, but return the phone call later. You heard the message, okay, and just deal with them later on. And when people see that, oh, this is actually, she's working, she's not, binge watching whatever, she's working, they'll get the hint, right? And you got to teach people, right, to respect your time, who you are, and what it is that you're doing, and I think you'll be good. For some people it may take longer than others, but you'll be good. I think that's all I got for you today. Please comment below, share if you like the content, ask me a question, if there's something that you would like me to talk about. I'm working through this talking to a camera thing. I love to speak and connect with people. I genuinely do. I do that on a I do that on the phone. I'm used to that. I just talking to a camera where there's no other people. It's still a little weird, right? So I'm working through it, but I think anyway, you guys will be able to tell me like in a month or two, I'll not feel as uncomfortable as I do right now. It's weird. Anyway, have a blessed rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.